Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a lovely 2013 Baselworld launch. This is the TAG Heuer Carrera Calibre 36 Flyback Racing, a timepiece 43mm in blackened titanium. It's a large watch that wears light on the wrist. As you can see on my 16cm circumference wrist, it's got quite a wingspan. 52.8mm from lug to lug means I wouldn't recommend this watch for a wrist any smaller than 16cm in circumference. I really feel you're going to start to see a lot of lug overlap at the edge of your wrist at that point. That said, the watch is very comfortable, and in titanium it wears feather light. It's not terribly thick. You can see that the watch is 15.1, which is pretty much par for the course for a highly water resistant sporting complication, especially an automatic one. Now the spacing between the lugs is contemporary, 22mm, meaning this 43mm watch has a nice planted stanced look on the wrist, and the strap that's attached is of high grade. Let me give you one more pure overhead shot of that watch. Now jump into the strap, you can see that it's a little bit of a hybrid. It is stitched leather with a rubber perforated insert, so it has a little bit of a buffer against abrasion on the top on both sides thanks to the stitched rubber insert, but then you also have the comfort of calfskin on the underside with a little bit of a buffer between your actual wrist and the leather itself. There is also an inlay of natural rubber, a lot like what you would find on modern Zenith timepieces, which probably makes sense because TAG and Zenith are in the same LVMH empire, but it's a way to make the strap last longer. As long as you don't take the plunge with this thing, this leather should last a long time. The clasp is a smart piece, blackened titanium like the watch. It's a twin trigger release, so it's not going to pop open by accident. And you can see that there's a little minder system so that you actually tuck the extra. I'll just create a visual to simulate, because I'm not going to buckle and crimp this right now, but if you actually size the strap for your wrist, the extra strap length is all tucked underneath the clasp and the strap, which is why there's no external strap minder loop to clutter the look, and of course it's a very clean look as there is no extra strap length flapping in the breeze. The Carrera lugs are present and correct, probably the famous element which we remember most distinctly from the 1960s, rivaled only by the 1969 Monaco and its square case profile. The Carrera lugs are a design icon in their own right. That might be interesting because most brands have models that are icons, whereas the Carrera lugs themselves seem to be the icon of TAG along with the Monaco. They're strong, thrusting, integrated, and angular. They date back to 1963, and any Carrera worth its salt ever since has featured that lug profile. No crown or shear guards on the crown side. You can see the TAG shield logo. You can also see that there's a little bit of an automotive themed rubber shoulder around the crown itself. The crown is not a screw down, but the watch is 100 meters water resistant. On the dial side, lots to love. As you can see, all applique Arabic numerals for 60 minutes or 60 seconds, however you want to envision those. There is a stepped upward plane to the minutes and seconds track outboard, and then you can see inboard there's a little bit of a lower step to the center dial with individual metallic chapter rings, nicely satin finished and polished alternately for the constant seconds and chronograph minutes. You can see there's an aperture for the date down at 60, or I should say 30, at 6 o'clock. And of course, it's a nicely bilaterally symmetrical dial that you can split down the center, and both sides will be symmetrical and identical. Now the watch does not feature stop seconds because it is a Zenith El Primero, and the El Primero is the explanation for the Calibre 36 nomenclature, 36,000 vibrations per hour. Now that said, you have all of the quirks of the El Primero, including the fact that the outermost position of the crown sets the date rather than the time. The watch does feature a column wheel action that you could just barely see underneath this shaded sapphire caseback. You can see the column wheel just under my finger, and in TAG parlance, this is caliber C36. I call it a Zenith caliber 405. It's the same movement that was in the legendary Zenith El Primero Rainbow, albeit with one change. There is no hours register on this version of the caliber 405. 31 joules, automatic winding, 50-hour power reserve, 10 beats per second, the quick set date, the lateral clutch column wheel architecture, all of it water resistant down to 100 meters. This is a watch that features all of the toys. You've got the best of both worlds. You've got Heuer's signature style on the outside in the Carrera, and you've got the Zenith El Primero as the beating heart inside, giving it real high horology provenance and pedigree. I'll also mention that with a loomed dial and the 100-meter water resistant, case, this is a more versatile Carrera than most versions have been historically. The Carrera was always envisioned as a trackside motorsports companion, but this one is equally welcome at, for example, the track in Monaco or the harbor if you want to fall off your mega yacht. So the perfect companion whether you're driving or diving alongside the Monaco Grand Prix. This is the TAG Heuer Carrera Calibre 36 Flyback Racing in blackened titanium. TAG Heuer Carrera Calibre 36 Flyback Racing by night.